Welcome to another gorgeous day on Earth, although it's a little overcasted and cloudy. It's raining, but my hair is holding up, which is always important in the world of Danny Rocco. But it's another great day for another dose of Did You Know? And with me today is Jeremy. How are you?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
I am doing great. And as I told you, Jeremy, it's about intriguing, inspiring, unique individuals. And voila,
Here
you
we
are
are.
here. Here we are, face to face via, thank goodness, of technology and StreamYard. Thank you very much. They're not my sponsor. I'm just saying that. No. But tell the world a little bit about who Jeremy is before we get in there, get dirty.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Jeremy Hunt. I am a husband and father before anything else. I do accounting for a living.
That's a
And
little boring, Jeremy.
well, hey, it ain't always boring. You never know what you're going to get.
It's true.
But I'm I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to get to talk to you about the Irreverent Warriors fundraiser that we're going to be doing, and just tell you a little more about myself.
So I'm really excited because I totally cut you off and said accounting is boring, which is it's so rude. I need to put my manners back on before we get going. And Andrew's watching. He is the coordinator of Irreverent Warriors Tennessee. He's like the brains behind it all, or at least that Tennessee. He's my go-to guy. And Michelle's out there. So how does an accountant who was on stage get back on stage and do what you do? So talk to me about that. You must have like a split personality, maybe, or maybe accounting is more fun than I know.
No, accounting is accounting, but but like you said, 15 years ago, I used to lead singing at my church. I grew up watching my grandfather do it, and then I followed in his footsteps. And then I began traveling to some tent revivals and different situations like that. And I kind of strayed away from all that. And like I've told you before, this will be my first time back on a stage doing anything in 15 years. So I was 16 the last time I was on stage. And the funny story about how I got here is I married Michelle Baxter's daughter. And a couple weeks ago, we were just driving down the road, and I like to act goofy in the car and stuff, and I'll karaoke to anything that comes on the radio. A video of me singing Leanne Rimes' How Do I Live got posted on Facebook. And then there were several other videos after that, me just doing random songs. And next thing I know, Michelle has put me in the lineup for Irreverent Warriors. And now I'm sitting here talking to Danny Rocco. It's kind of taken on a life of its own. I mean, it started as a joke. My wife Jessica, she was actually doing it to, and try to embarrass me, pick fun at me, and now she likes to joke and tell me that the fame is getting to my head.
Well, see, this is what I always say. God makes no mistakes. Things are wonky and crazy, and but it is meant to be. So are these videos out there that I can like totally check out? Because now
videos,
I mean, you singing Leanne Rimes, I got to hear this.
These videos are on my personal Facebook page, as well as the music page that my wife created, Jeremy Hunt Music. We've started a YouTube channel, still, uploading some videos of that. So yeah, all the videos are out there, and I will go ahead and tell you now, I do not claim at any point in time to be a good singer, but I have fun doing it, and it's more the show than anything. At our event on September 10th, I'll be doing some of these funny songs. I will probably do How Do I Live, since that's kind of what started this whole thing. But I will also be doing a song or two that will be dedicated to the military and my friends and family that have served and are currently serving in the military.
Yeah, so that is kind of what Michelle told me. She said it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little funny. It's going to be a little serious. It's a combination. So it's a mystery of
It
what
is a
the
mystery.
new Jeremy Hunt is going to be after 15 years. This is like
Yeah.
the opening moment. But tell me about that. Like, what is your connection besides the beautiful, wonderful, passionate, loving Michelle? Besides that, what is your connection? You have a special place in your heart for, like the event we're doing, for the support we're doing for Irreverent Warriors.
So my father and my best friend Andrea, they are both military veterans. They were both in the Army. My friend Andrea actually served overseas in Afghanistan in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And now my younger brother, he is currently enlisted in the Air Force, and he is stationed in South Korea.
Mm.
Um, he was actually supposed to be home back in March, mid March, but due to COVID-19, he is still stuck in uh, Korea. And so instead of being able to come home prior to his next deployment, he will be going straight from Korea to Germany. So it's kind of one of the situations where, we don't know when we'll get to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Been talking with Michelle, and we're going to try to be able to live stream the entire show out to his troop over in South Korea.
Oh, wouldn't that? Oh, so we're going to be live the whole time. So we can totally do this. I didn't know that. That is definitely going to happen. So they can, even though he can't be home, he can participate in the show. So is he single? Does he have a family back here or over there or?
He has a daughter over here. I believe she's 7 years old now, and um, they talk every day. He was, before going to Korea, he was stationed in North Carolina,
Okay.
and which she was right there down the road from him. When he comes back, she is now in New Jersey because her mother's husband's also in the military, and they've just been restationed in New Jersey. So if he does get to come home for just a little bit, he's going to have to travel half the country to try to see everybody before he's gone again.
Yeah, travel the world, across the world to get home and then travel the country to make sure he sees who he needs to see. And that right there, that sacrifice, those are the things people I think don't think about. Um, you know, Imagine never seeing your child or just doing it through Skype. She's going to be a whole year. I'm sure it's been a year. It'll be over a year by the time he goes from South Korea over to Germany and then back here.
Yeah, and that's, as a father myself, it's, you know sometimes even being at work for 8 hours, I'm just ready to get home to see my kids. I couldn't imagine um, having to do what he
Yeah.
does. But I will say this, and this is another reason that I'm such a strong supporter of our veterans, of our active duty. You know, Politics aside, regardless of what's going on in this country, we are the freest country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And without the men and women that have served and are currently serving, we don't have that luxury.
Right.
So that's, it. And to know that I've got close friends and family that have been a part of that it makes it real special to me.
Yeah. It gives me like I get chills and it fills my heart. I was just on the phone last night with Malachias from Warriors Garden. You'll meet him if you haven't. He'll be there. Um, and you hear these stories. I hear like what you're speaking of with your personal family. And I was talking with him and it fills my heart so much. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are. It doesn't matter any of that. Just the fact that somebody will say, I will lay down everything I am and everything I have for you to sit here and be able to like say what you want, do what you want, obviously under the law. It blows me away. It blows me away because I mean, my son, I raised a son who did that, but I don't think I have the guts to do
Oh,
it. I
oh,
definitely don't.
oh, absolutely. the furthest I went with the military, I done an ROTC thing my freshman year of high school, and I mean, it just that little bit of stuff, just the training and everything that our military goes through to do all this. It's unbelievable, and I don't think that even today they get enough credit.
Yeah, I agree.
For the things that they do. But I'm really hoping that that he's able to get his troop together and we can live stream this to him, because like I said, one of the songs that I do intend on singing will be going out to him. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, now that you told me that, I'm already getting teary-eyed. I don't know if I'm going through some emotional spell these last few weeks, or it's the emotion coming up to the 10th and then the 12th when everybody does the hike. But I'm a disaster. I'm just putting it out there. I'm a total disaster. But I have a question. Why are you called Salamander?
That's hilarious. I'm going to assume that Michelle has reached out to you, but when me and her daughter Jessica, we first got together, her daughter, just my daughter, she's I've never heard her say Jeremy. She was sitting at the kitchen table one day reading a book when they was over visiting, and the book was about a sad salamander, and she just looked up at me and she says, "I'm going to call you Salamander." And that has been my name ever since. She can be 30 years old and it will hurt my feelings real bad if she ever stops calling me Salamander. It's just kind of one of the things that have stuck, and I love it. When I walk in the door every day from work, I hear, "Hi, Salamander." And I mean, it's just, I don't want it any other way.
I have never, ever, hands down, heard a story where, a daughter reading something gets so touched and is like, I think this is what I'm going to call my daddy. I think
well, it kind of threw me because the book was about a sad salamander, so I don't know. It kind of threw me off a little bit, but yeah, I really wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, it's, I think I said this at the beginning. There is nothing in this life that I do or that I will ever do that is more rewarding than being a father. And that's one of the things that gets me emotional, because that's the greatest thing, that greatest gift God could ever given us was the chance to be parents.
What a good father. What a good father, because so many people, mothers and fathers, and I might even, growing up or raising my children, especially Jacob, my Marine, I had him so young. I didn't appreciate exactly what you're saying. I became in this just survival mode. I mean, he was my 16th birthday present. Like, yay. Not what I wanted. I was really wanting a car, and I did not get that. God had other plans for me, but I didn't have that till much, much later, that appreciation and that gift and that understanding of really what I was blessed with. So to hear you say that, and they're so young and have that appreciation, so many people, including my own children, and I apologize to them. I'm like, oh, I don't know how you guys turned out so good and put together, and I kept you alive, because it took me a while to grow up and become a parent. I was still a child, basically.
Right. And we have a total of 3. We have 2 girls and a boy. We have Eden, who is 4, Gavin, who is 6, and then Addie, who calls me Salamander. She's 8, and it's just, there's never a dull moment. They give me a hard time. I'm actually legally blind, and
okay. Fun fact of Jeremy. Fun fact.
Yes, fun fact. I'm able to see to work and stuff, but I can't drive, dim lighting and stuff. It's something I was born with, but I joke about it. I make light of it. It's the hand I was dealt, And the kids will walk around just being funny, and they'll start bumping into stuff. And I'm like, "What are y'all doing?" They're like, "Acting like you." So it's never dull. It's always fun. And now my wife, she is the lucky one in the aspect that she's able to work from home now. She owns her own salon called the Parlor, and it's actually at our house. So she
Oh, sweet.
she gets to be home every day and be with them every day. So I envy that.
She gets to see all of that. Although, as a mother, that means she never gets that time, that separation. And although this is what I think. Some people, I always have worked from home, so I raised my children home working. Whatever I was doing, they were always under me, and I was fine with that. And then I loved it. So I felt like I was getting away, even though they were always with me, and they would mimic me on the phone and things like that too. I'm like, I don't sound like that. And they're like, yes, you do. They're like, you could be punishing us and the phone will ring and all of a sudden you are the nicest woman out there. And I'm like, well, I can't yell at the customer. But then there are some people that need that time away, right? Like having that balance. I don't know. A random thought that came over my head. You're bringing back memories. And I was with somebody and they're like, for every story I tell you, you have to tell me 9. And I'm like, I don't think I have 9 stories for every one of yours. I am not that interesting. But apparently they come at random times, Jeremy. Maybe you bring it out. So you must have, is your wife funny? Because you must have this comedian side, very serious, but comedian at the same time, this hidden goofiness.
There's a debate in our house of who the funny one is.
Is it between Salamander and?
It's between Salamander and Mom. And the debate is actually between Salamander and Mom. Not the kids. You ask the kids, they think they're the funnier ones. But
right.
But yeah, she's quite the trip. And I have a very serious side, but I'm a very goofy, fun-loving person. I like to have fun, and if I can make other people laugh in that process, then I think I've done my job.
I think you're going to cut it up on the 10th. And now I see I'm getting a little bit because I didn't really. Oh, and by the way, Jessica says she is the funny one and not to lie. And I'm going to. On the 10th, we'll have a duel. I don't know what that will consist of, but we'll have a duel between Jessica and the Salamander. Somehow on the 10th. You'll have to find out what that will be. But Travis and I will come up with something, I'm sure.
Challenge accepted.
But now I see what I can see when Michelle told me. He's like, it's funny, but serious at the same time. I totally understand. Now, is Michelle just as funny? Because she's just like this sweet, loving-hearted person that I know. Did Jessica get her sense of humor from Michelle? And I want to know about Michelle.
Are we talking about the same Michelle? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she's pretty funny herself. She is all about her grandbabies. Mm-hmm. That is her above anything else that she does in life. It's all about the grandbabies. So yeah, Michelle, she's been giving me a hard time about this too. I'm goofy now since all this started. I'll walk outside looking around, waiting on the paparazzi to pop out. It just y'all have to go on to the Jeremy Hunt Music Facebook page and look at some of these videos, and you will see where this all began, and it's quite the trip.
Yep, the hidden Jeremy, the emerging Jeremy after 15 years, the world is getting to see, and Jessica is the sweet one. Also, just putting it out there.
I'll deal with that when I get home.
Well, I cannot wait to learn more about you on the 10th, to actually see this performance, to be able to live stream over there to your brother and everyone, his whole, gang overseas in South Korea. This is going to be, it just adds to the level and adds to the filling of my heart. each time I speak to one of the artists and sponsors and that are going to be there on the 10th, I'm a little taken back what Michelle has done for the Irreverent Warriors Nashville, and just like honored that I can be a small part of it. So thank you for your participation in it. And before I let you go, my last question that I ask everybody, and I ask you to answer it with the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't give me the second. I want the first, because that is what this is all about. In this moment right now, Jeremy, what does love mean to you?
What does love mean to me? I'm going to go back to what we've talked about a little bit prior. Love to me is getting to wake up every morning to a wife and kids that no matter what, they love me, they support me, and I love to support anything that they want to do as far as, career, anything, whatever makes my family happy is it makes me happy. And to me, that's what love is, because I don't think you need anything else.
And you know what? It goes, that answer is the pure truth in this moment that you're going through, because it translates right through the whole entire interview. You are a loving man of God and loves his family. So thank you. Thank you so much for being you. I'm very excited, Jessica. I'm very excited to meet you. Jeremy, you too. I want to meet the real salamander in real life. We might have to change your name on the lineup and for further introductions. You can we'll add a whisper on there if it makes you feel more important. But to everybody else out there watching, as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, we will see you. Bye-bye.